Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how this resonates with your circumstances. So, first of all, I had a dream last night, very brief dream. I was in a classroom-like setting, and there was a math equation on the board. So I got up. I worked out this math equation on the board. I knew I had the answer right. I was completely sure of myself. But there was another young lady in the class who obviously didn't like that I was so quick to get the answer right. And so she started saying things that didn't make sense about the math equation. So the teacher came up, and apparently he favored her for some reason because he kept trying to rationalize how her answer might have been correct without actually working the problem out on the board. Because I guess this person didn't want to acknowledge that I had gotten it right. So he kept saying, sweetheart, sweetheart, this. So I knew he was really trying to make her be right. But when he got up to the board and actually worked out the equation himself, he ended up coming up with the same answer that I had. And then I woke up. So when I woke up out of my sleep, I actually heard 1,000 will fall. So I'm getting all of these numbers in my dreams, numbers when I wake up. So 1,000 will fall. I decided to look up the actual text. You know, there's a scripture in the biblical text that speaks on 1,000 falling at your side. And so this particular text reads, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. And it also goes on to speak on how your angels are going to lift you up and protect you so that you will not dash a toe. So I found that to be interesting how that particular scripture came to mind once I woke up, because see, what we're experiencing at this time is, I feel that the powers that were, they're trying to write themselves out of a prophetic equation. They're trying to write themselves out of the punishment and the destruction that's getting ready to come to them. They're trying to rationalize how they can maneuver and manipulate a particular outcome because they're not ready to see their own demise. And I feel that my dream was a perfect representation of that, where you have someone who is so called in a position of authority that doesn't want to acknowledge that maybe another has come along that understands just as well, or maybe understands even more. And just because you favor a particular person or a particular group of people, it doesn't mean that you can write them out of the equation. See, the math wasn't mathing in the dream for these people. But once they had to work it out, they could not overlook the truth, because mathematics is something that is factual. You can't dance around that. You can't, try to rationalize it or come up with different ways to make a different answer. No, 2 plus 2 is always going to be 2. And so it's really one of those things where those who have chosen the dark path, we're talking about specifically the powers that were, as well as the pawns who worked for the powers that were. That would be those people in your intimate space that decided to take a particular path. They are part of that 10,000 that's going to fall on your right hand and 1,000 that's going to fall at the left. And that number is obviously small when we think about the number of people who have chosen the path of wickedness. But it is a prime example that the Most High has spoken. There's nothing that can be done. You can't write yourself out of the equation of prophecy, because at the end of the day, you know the things that you've been doing behind the scenes. These people know what they have done in darkness. They know that they tried to hide it. They know that they, assumed that they could, rewrite history, rewrite the truth. They thought that they could blind the world to their wickedness and their agendas. They thought that they could put on a particular face for the world, and that If they put on a particular front in front of the masses, that somehow what they did in the dark would be completely, eliminated. No one would ever find out because they didn't believe in the Most High. They didn't believe in the spiritual team that you have around you. So they thought that they was going to rewrite the entire prophecy to fit and to work in their favor because they favored a particular group of people, or because they thought that a particular group of people was supposed to be able to pass through without any repercussion for their actions. But see, that time is now. And there's nothing that they can do to change it. There's nothing that they can do to, turn this thing around. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years of oppression. These people have done the worst of the worst that you can think of. They have done it spiritually and physically. There was no wicked deed, no wicked act that they would not take part in. They refused none of it. And so because of this is now the time of judgment. It cannot be avoided. The chosen have spoken. We have awakened, and we have called on the highest form of righteous judgment to be casted upon the heads of the wicked. We've done the rituals to establish that the powers that were, they're losing their power. They lose their authority. They lose their wealth. Their empire now falls. And every single being, spiritually and physically, that worked to maintain the beast of Babylon now falls with it. None are exempt. And so this is a time where they're really trying to figure out how they can get the math to be on a totally different level, but the math, it just ain't mathing, y'all. And they're realizing that they can't rewrite this. It's already written in the stars. It's already a part of destiny. Every single being, every single person that allowed themselves to fall into the hands of greed, evil eye, jealousy, envy, all about their ego, all about power and authority, all about oppressing one group of people in order for them to come up. It's now time for them to come down. They can't stop it. And every single being that benefited from their wicked deeds are also going to fall with them. They can't stop that either. Because at the end of the day, you might say, okay, well, the powers that were did this because they wanted their offspring. They wanted their people to inherit this. They did it for the sake of the future of their people. Well, guess what? The seed that they planted on behalf of their offspring is tainted. It's corrupted. And so therefore the seed is corrupted, and so the fruit that it bears is also corrupted. So the Most High is taking it all out. Every single being that came from that beast of Babylon, every single being that helped to build and to feed the beast of Babylon, all of them are being taken down. And you as the chosen, you will stand. You will continue to stand. And they're going to look to you. They're going to try to cling to you because they see that you are favored. They see that the Most High has bestowed grace and mercy upon your life, and that the Most High is protecting you. So they're going to try to cling to your energy, but you can't take them with you. You're going to have to turn a blind eye to their pleads for help, their cries for help, because this is their judgment. This is the judgment that we called on. You're going to continue to stand. Your spiritual team is going to ensure that you do not dash a toe. Nothing will touch you, but you will see destruction all around you. You're going to see destruction because the Most High wants to ensure that you get to eyewitness the wrath that's coming on your behalf and on behalf of your ancestors, who was done wrongfully by these beings who only thought about themselves and who only thought about their offspring. They only thought about their power, their control, their wealth. Now is the time of destruction. And so I just advise for y'all to get ready. Get ready. Because what's already written can't be distorted. There's nothing else that they can do. There's no more sleight of hands that they can use. There's no more trickery that they can use to outsmart or to overcome what is already destined. So just remember, 1,000 is going to fall at your side and 10,000 at your right side. But it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. So you had to get out of the way. That's the only way that the tower would come down, is once you're actually out of the building. And so if you find that you had to walk away from particular people, it's because they are all a part of the tower. They are all going to be there in that energy of destruction when it comes through. And you had to disconnect yourself. You had to disconnect your energy. And it's not just from the people that's in your intimate circle. You had to disconnect your energy from religious structures. You had to disconnect your energy from political structures. You had to disconnect your energy from, even when it comes to the financial system, not being so heavily reliant and codependent on that green paper with those dead presidents, recognizing that it's getting ready to be a totally different currency that's coming through. Why? Because you're expressing and projecting a whole new currency. We require higher vibrational energy. So you've disconnected from many things. And because it no longer possesses your energy, you're no longer the generator to help feed that system. All of it and everyone that is a part of it that have just chosen to take the bait and to believe in the laws of man before they believe in the laws of the Most High, those people that are still strongly attached to the matrix and to the system are going to fall with it. When the matrix collapses, so will they. So that's my message for you all. You got the right equation. You figured out the answer. And now you're going to be proven right in front of your enemies. That's my message. I love you all, and I'll talk to you all next time.